First contact deception. The massive Imperial survey ship Eternal Glory dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system, its crystalline arrays glittering in the light of Earth's sun. High Commander Vexthor stood on the bridge, his iridescent scales rippling with anticipation as he studied the preliminary scans of the third planet. Another primitive civilization, he mused, mandibles clicking in amusement, still burning hydrocarbons for energy. No quantum signatures, no FTL capability. Prepare the standard first contact protocol. Behind him, First Scientific Officer Kiratel frantically recalibrated her instruments. Something wasn't right. The quantum background radiation from Earth was strange. Not absent, as it should be for a pre-FTL civilization, but somehow masked. Before she could voice her concerns, the humans made first contact. A single transmission, broadcast on simple radio waves. Unknown vessel, this is Earth Defense Command. Welcome to Sol Space. Please identify yourself. Vexthor's secondary hearts quickened. This was the part he loved most. The moment primitive species realized their place in the galaxy. I am High Commander Vexthor of the Galactic Imperial Fleet. Your world has been chosen for evaluation and potential integration into our glorious empire. The response came back in perfect Imperial standard, surprising the bridge crew. We are honored, High Commander. We request permission to send a small diplomatic vessel to meet with you. Our primitive chemical rockets are slow. Please be patient. Granted, Vexthor replied, already composing his report to the Imperial Council. Another easy conquest. These humans even acknowledged their own technological inferiority. 6 hours later, a small chemical-powered shuttle approached the Eternal Glory. Scans confirmed it was exactly what it appeared to be. Primitive technology barely capable of reaching orbit. The shuttle's pilot, a human female named Dr. Sarah Chen, emerged wearing what appeared to be a crude pressure suit. High Commander, she bowed deeply, her movements awkward in the suit. We are overwhelmed by your advanced technology. Earth hopes to learn from the Empire's wisdom. Vexthor preened. This was going perfectly. Show me your world's leadership, Dr. Chen. We have much to discuss about your future. Of course, Commander. Though, she hesitated, playing her role perfectly. Could you first explain how your quantum drives work? We've only theorized about such technology. As Vexthor launched into a condescending explanation of basic quantum mechanics, he failed to notice several things. The slight shimmer in the air around Dr. Chen that wasn't quite a suit malfunction, the way his ship's quantum sensors kept experiencing momentary glitches, and most importantly, the fact that he was no longer speaking to the real Dr. Chen. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in humanity's true command center, the real Dr. Chen watched through her quantum-linked avatar's eyes. Around her, the most advanced AI systems ever created processed every word, every gesture from the Imperial Commander. The holographic chamber projected a perfect real-time simulation of probable Imperial responses and strategies. They're exactly as arrogant as we predicted, she told the assembled world leaders. The Empire has conquered dozens of civilizations by appearing so advanced that resistance seems futile. They've forgotten how to recognize true technological superiority when it's hidden in plain sight. On her neural display, quantum calculations confirmed their strategy had a 99.97% chance of success. The Empire thought they were evaluating humanity for conquest. In reality, humanity was evaluating them, testing whether they could be trusted with the truth about Earth's capabilities, or whether more dramatic measures would be needed. Above, Vexthor finished his lecture on quantum mechanics, pleased with how attentively the primitive human had listened. You see, Dr. Chen, your species is centuries away from such technology, but under Imperial guidance. Actually, Chen's avatar interrupted with a small smile. I believe there are a few errors in your quantum theory. Would you like me to explain where you went wrong? The subtle shift in her tone made Vexthor's scales ripple with the first hints of unease. Something about this situation wasn't quite what it seemed. But surely these primitives couldn't. The quantum sensors across his ship suddenly screamed to life, detecting power signatures that should have been impossible. And High Commander Vexthor began to understand that his routine survey mission had just become something else entirely. In the Deep Sea Command Center, Dr. Chen smiled. "Begin Phase 2, she ordered. The game was officially afoot. The Hidden Fleet. 3 days after first contact, Imperial scout vessel Swift Vengeance discovered what appeared to be an abandoned human space station in high Earth orbit. Captain Zexnar could hardly contain his excitement as his ship approached the derelict structure. Primitive but impressive for their technological level, he reported back to High Commander Vexthor. Approximately 3 kilometers in length. No power signatures. Appears to have been abandoned in a hurry. The massive structure slowly rotated against the backdrop of stars, its solar panels shattered, hull marked with apparent micrometeorite impacts. Perfect evidence of humanity's failed attempts to reach for the stars. Proceed with caution, Vexthor ordered from the Eternal Glory. But gather all possible intelligence. The Imperial Council will want to know everything about their space capabilities. As the Swift Vengeance moved closer, its sensors probed the station's interior. The readings showed exactly what they expected: outdated technology, primitive computer systems, and empty corridors designed for beings that hadn't yet mastered artificial gravity. "Permission to board, Commander," Zexnar requested. "My team can have a full assessment in 2 hours." On Earth, in a bunker deep beneath the Himalayas, Admiral James Chen, Dr. Chen's brother, watched the Imperial ships through quantum-linked sensors that the aliens couldn't detect. Next to him, the station's true AI core processed billions of calculations per second. They took the bait, he told the gathered military leadership. "Station Oracle, begin the test." The AI's response appeared instantly in his neural link. In 98 evaluation piroto keiko el omije. Probability of hostile intent, 87.3%, and rising. Aboard the Swift Vengeance, Zexnar led his boarding team through the station's empty corridors. Their environmental suits protected them from the vacuum, boots magnetized to the floor in the zero gravity. Everything looked exactly as it should. A failed attempt at space colonization by a species not ready for the stars. "Captain," his science officer called out, "I'm detecting some kind of data storage system ahead. Primitive, but potentially intact." The team moved forward, unaware that every step, every scan, every word was being analyzed by quantum computers far more advanced than anything the Empire possessed. The station wasn't testing their technology, it was testing their intentions. In the computer core, they found exactly what the Empire would expect: crude silicon-based processors, magnetic storage devices, and basic life support systems. Zexnar ordered his team to download everything. "This will give us complete insight into their technological capabilities," he said triumphantly. "The Council will be pleased." The data transfer began. On their screens, they saw exactly what they expected: technical diagrams, crew logs, failed experiments, all carefully crafted by humanity's AIs to tell precisely the story the Empire needed to believe. But as they downloaded the data, something else was happening. Microscopic quantum probes, disguised as data corruption, were mapping the Empire's entire computer network. Every firewall, every security protocol, every piece of classified information was being indexed and analyzed. Back in the Himalayan bunker, Admiral Chen watched the probability calculation shift. The AI's assessment was clear. The Empire wasn't just surveying Earth. They were preparing for conquest. "Sir," his tactical officer reported, "they're accessing the fake files about Project Awakening." Chen nodded grimly. They had suspected this might happen. The station contained carefully placed hints about a failed human attempt to develop quantum technology, an attempt that had apparently ended in disaster. The Empire would think they had discovered humanity's greatest secret. They had no idea they were walking into humanity's most elaborate trap. On the Swift Vengeance, Zexanar's team finished their survey. "High Commander," he reported back to Vexthor, "we found something interesting. These humans apparently attempted to develop quantum computing 20 years ago. The project failed catastrophically." "Excellent," Vexthor replied. "This confirms they are nowhere near our level of advancement. Prepare your report for the Council. We'll begin integration protocols immediately." As the Imperial ships moved away from the station, they remained completely unaware of the quantum links now embedded in their systems, or the true purpose of their discovery. In the Himalayan bunker, Admiral Chen received the AI's final analysis. "Evaluation complete. Imperial intent, HFY hostile continuist planet. Activating QONTINGENCY protoxevals." They failed the test, Chen told his staff quietly. "Initiate Project Oracle. It's time to show them what humanity can really do." The abandoned station hung silently in space, its true purpose accomplished. The Empire thought they had discovered humanity's greatest failure. Soon, they would learn it was actually the beginning of their own downfall. In orbit, quantum particles began to shift in ways the Empire's sensors couldn't detect. Humanity's real space fleet was about to reveal itself, and the galaxy would never be the same. Project Oracle. The Imperial Council's emergency session was interrupted by alarms that shouldn't have been possible. Across the Empire's quantum network, systems began failing in cascading patterns. On millions of screens, a simple message appeared. "Project Oracle says hello." High Commander Vexthor stood before the Council, his scales now a pale shade of gray. "Impossible," he insisted, even as the evidence mounted. "They're pre-quantum. We confirmed it ourselves." "Did you?" The question came from Dr. Chen's avatar, suddenly present in the Council chamber despite their strongest security protocols. "Or did you see exactly what we wanted you to see?" The Council chamber's quantum barriers, supposedly unbreakable, shimmered and dissolved. The real message began to play across every Imperial system simultaneously. "We are Project Oracle. We have been watching, learning, and evaluating. For the past century, humanity hasn't been developing technology. We've been perfecting it. What you thought was primitive radio chatter was a carefully constructed mask. What you saw as failed experiments were tests of your reactions. Every scan you made, every system you probed, was allowed to succeed because we needed to understand you." In orbit around Earth, the abandoned station suddenly pulsed with energy. The holographic camouflage fell away, revealing a structure that made the Empire's largest installations look primitive by comparison. Quantum cores that had been running in stealth mode for decades activated simultaneously. Admiral Chen stood in the Himalayan command center, watching through humanity's quantum network as the Empire's leadership faced the truth. "Show them," he ordered. Across the galaxy, Imperial ships discovered they were no longer alone. Hidden quantum signatures bloomed like stars coming alive. Human vessels, stations, and installations appeared everywhere, their technology so advanced it had been invisible to Imperial sensors. "Your empire," Dr. Chen's avatar told the stunned Council, "has conquered worlds by appearing technologically superior. You arrive, display your advanced technology, and watch as civilizations surrender without a fight. But you never considered someone might use that same strategy against you." The Council chamber's displays showed the truth. Human quantum computers that made Imperial systems look like abacuses, energy technology that bordered on magic, and AI systems that had been predicting and countering Imperial moves before they were made. "The station you found," Admiral Chen's voice joined his sister's, "wasn't abandoned. It was a test. We needed to know if you would attempt to steal what you thought were our secrets. You failed that test spectacularly." Vexthor's mandibles clicked in distress as he realized the full implications. "Every scan we made was analyzed and allowed through specific quantum channels we created," Dr. Chen finished. "While you thought you were gathering intelligence on us, Project Oracle was mapping your entire civilization. We know everything. your strengths, your weaknesses, your plans for conquest. The Imperial capital's defensive systems tried to activate. Nothing responded. Project Oracle had already secured control of every major military installation in the Empire. "This is impossible," one council member protested. No quantum system could predict and counter an entire civilization's actions. "Quantum computing was just the beginning," Dr. Chen replied. "While you were perfecting faster ships, we were exploring the nature of consciousness itself. While you were building bigger weapons, we were learning to manipulate the fundamental forces of reality." Through quantum networks that spanned galaxies, humanity's message continued. They had hidden their true capabilities not out of fear, but to evaluate whether the Empire could be trusted with the knowledge of what humanity had become. "We wanted to give you a chance," Admiral Chen explained, "to see if you would approach a seemingly primitive civilization with diplomacy and respect. Instead, you immediately began planning our conquest." In the Himalayan bunker, the quantum AIs confirmed what they had predicted. The Empire's leadership was fracturing, realizing for the first time in their history that they were no longer the most advanced civilization in known space. "You have a choice," Dr. Chen told them. "Continue your current path, and we will be forced to demonstrate exactly how outmatched you are, or accept that the galaxy is larger and more complex than you imagined, and work with us to create something better." As if to emphasize the point, every Imperial weapon system simultaneously powered down. Project Oracle had been running probability calculations for decades, mapping out every possible future. The Empire's choice now would determine which of those futures would become reality. The silence in the council chamber stretched for what felt like eternity. Humanity had hidden in plain sight, built an invisible civilization more advanced than anything the Empire had dreamed possible, and now held the fate of an empire in its hands. Finally, a junior council member spoke. Perhaps we should listen to what they have to teach us." In the Himalayan bunker, Project Oracle's quantum processors registered the first change in probability streams. The future was beginning to shift. The real first contact was about to begin. The awakening. The Imperial delegation entered the quantum chamber beneath Mount Fuji with poorly concealed fear. What they saw inside challenged everything they thought they knew about the nature of existence. "Welcome to the Awakening Project," Dr. Chen gestured to the crystalline structures that filled the massive cavern. "This is where humanity transcended biological limitations." Floating in the chamber's center was what appeared to be a human consciousness made visible, a shifting, ethereal pattern of quantum energy that somehow maintained human form. The Empire's best scientists stumbled back, their instruments overwhelmed by readings they couldn't comprehend. "Impossible," Chief Scientist Rectal whispered. "Consciousness cannot exist outside biological or artificial constructs." The quantum pattern shifted, coalescing into a more solid form. Dr. Marcus Wong, who had died 3 years ago, stood before them in a body that seemed both physical and ethereal. "That was the Empire's first mistake," Wong smiled. "Assuming that consciousness must be bound to a single form. While you were perfecting faster-than-light travel, humanity was learning to transcend the boundaries between mind and matter." The chamber's walls became transparent, revealing thousands of similar chambers extending in all directions. In each one, human consciousness existed in forms that defied Imperial understanding. Some as pure energy, others inhabiting synthetic bodies that combined organic and quantum technology, still others existing as distributed patterns through quantum networks that spanned solar systems. "This is what we really are," Dr. Chen explained, her own form shifting between physical and quantum states effortlessly. "We didn't just develop advanced technology. We evolved beyond the need for technology as you understand it." High Commander Vexthor, watching through quantum feeds from the Imperial capital, finally understood the true magnitude of his civilization's miscalculation. "You're not just more advanced," he realized. "You're something entirely different." "We call it the Awakening," Wong confirmed. "The moment humanity realized that consciousness itself could be transformed, transferred, and transcended. Death became a choice. Physical form became optional. The barriers between mind and machine, between organic and artificial, between matter and energy, all of them fell. In demonstration, Wang's consciousness split into multiple forms, each one fully autonomous yet connected through quantum links that the Empire's sensors couldn't even detect. Every human mind can now exist simultaneously in multiple states, in multiple locations, across multiple realities. The implication struck the Imperial scientists like a physical blow. How could you fight an enemy that could transfer consciousness at will? How could you conquer a civilization that existed as much in quantum states as in physical reality? Your empire, Dr. Chen said gently, has spent millennia conquering physical worlds. But we no longer need worlds. At least, not in the way you understand. Each human consciousness can create its own reality within the quantum framework we've built. The chamber shifted again, showing the Imperial delegation visions of what humanity had become. Cities that existed in quantum space, unbound by physical laws. Minds that could transfer instantly across galaxies. Bodies that could be created or discarded at will, combining the best of biological and artificial evolution. This is why we hid our true nature, Wang explained. We needed to know if your empire could accept the existence of something so far beyond your understanding. Your response to our apparently primitive civilization told us everything we needed to know. In orbit, the quantum network that humanity had hidden for decades continued to expand, revealing its true scope. It wasn't just a communication system or a weapon. It was an entirely new plane of existence, one where humanity had learned to live as beings of pure consciousness and energy. You have two choices, Dr. Chen addressed the Imperial leadership through quantum links. Continue believing that physical conquest and technological superiority are the measure of civilization, in which case we will be forced to show you just how powerless your empire truly is. Or, she gestured, and the quantum chamber filled with visions of possibility. Humans and Imperial species working together, sharing knowledge, exploring consciousness in ways that transcended physical form. Or join us in the awakening. Learn what consciousness can truly become when it's freed from physical limitations. Help us explore not just this universe, but all possible universes. The Imperial scientists' instruments had stopped working entirely, overloaded by quantum signatures they couldn't process. But their own consciousness could feel the truth of what they were witnessing. The next step in evolution, a transformation so profound it made their civilization's achievements look like a child's first steps. In the quantum networks that spanned the galaxy, Project Oracle's predictions shifted again. The probability streams showed new futures opening, futures where the Empire's species might join humanity in transcendence, where consciousness itself could evolve beyond anything either civilization had imagined. The choice that would reshape the galaxy now lay before them. And in the quantum chamber beneath Mount Fuji, two civilizations stood at the threshold of something entirely new. New Dawn. 1 year after the revelation of humanity's true nature, the galaxy witnessed a transformation unlike anything in recorded history. The Imperial capital world of Zenith Prime hosted an event that would mark the beginning of a new era, not a surrender or a conquest, but an invitation. In the Grand Amphitheater, constructed from quantum crystalline materials that existed simultaneously in physical and quantum space, representatives from both civilizations gathered. The Imperial Council members, their scales shimmering with nervous energy, watched as Dr. Chen materialized in the center stage, her consciousness flowing seamlessly between physical and quantum states. Today, she announced to an audience that spanned galaxies through quantum networks, "We end the age of empire and begin the age of awakening." Above the amphitheater, the sky filled with a display of what humanity had achieved. Vast quantum matrices became visible, showing how human consciousness had learned to exist as pure energy, how physical reality itself had become optional for their civilization. For centuries, Dr. Chen continued, the Empire believed that technological superiority meant collecting better tools, building bigger ships, developing more powerful weapons. Humanity discovered a different path. We learned that the greatest technology isn't something you build. It's something you become. The first volunteers from the Empire stepped forward. Scientists, philosophers, and citizens who had chosen to experience the awakening. Under humanity's guidance, they would be the first of their species to transcend physical form. In the quantum chamber prepared for the ceremony, High Commander Vexthor, who had once dismissed humanity as primitive, watched in awe as the volunteers' consciousness separated from their physical forms. Their minds touched the quantum network for the first time, experiencing reality as humanity now did. The transformation is, beyond words. The first Imperial volunteer transmitted through the quantum link, their consciousness expanding into new dimensions of existence. We see everything. All possibilities, all realities, all flowing together. Project Oracle's quantum processors registered the moment as a critical probability nexus, the point where two civilizations began to truly merge, not through conquest, but through evolution. The future streams shifted dramatically, showing possibilities that neither humans nor Imperials had imagined alone. Admiral Chen, observing from Earth's Quantum Command Center, watched as the predictions stabilized around a new future. "Show them," he ordered. The quantum network expanded, revealing the true scope of what humanity had built, not just a way to exist without physical form, but a framework for consciousness itself to evolve. Through the network, both species could now perceive multiple realities simultaneously, exist in multiple forms, and explore existence in ways that transcended traditional physics. "Your empire sought to rule the galaxy," Dr. Chen addressed the council. "We offer something greater, the chance to transform the galaxy, to explore not just physical space, but the very nature of consciousness and reality." The quantum displays showed the future they could build together, worlds where consciousness flowed freely between species and forms, where the barriers between thought and reality dissolved, where evolution continued not through physical change, but through the expansion of mind and awareness. "This is humanity's gift to the galaxy," she concluded. "Not conquest, not submission, but transcendence." In orbit around Zenith Prime, the combined fleets of humanity and the Empire hung suspended in space, no longer tools of war, but symbols of how far both civilizations had come. The Empire's mighty warships now served as anchors for the expanding quantum network, their weapons replaced with consciousness transfer arrays. The quantum processors registered a final shift in probability streams. The future where two civilizations fought for dominance had faded almost completely, replaced by one where both species evolved together into something entirely new. As the ceremony concluded, the first fully transformed Imperial citizens rejoined their people, their consciousness now existing in both physical and quantum states, their understanding of reality forever altered. They'd brought with them the truth that humanity had discovered, that the real frontier wasn't space, but consciousness itself. "The age of empire is over," Dr. Chen announced as the quantum network pulsed with new awareness. "The age of awakening has begun." In the quantum streams that connected all consciousness, human and Imperial minds merged and flowed together, exploring realities that neither species could have reached alone. The galaxy watched as its oldest empire transformed from a force of conquest into a catalyst for evolution. And in the vast quantum network that now spanned known space, Project Oracle's processors registered a final probability, 100% chance of transformation. The future had arrived, and it was greater than either civilization had imagined possible. Above the Imperial capital, the quantum aurora shimmered with countless consciousnesses, human and alien alike, all exploring what they could become together. The new dawn had arrived, not with conquest or submission, but with transcendence.